Hey everyone, this is Dan the GM, and this is we're going to call them micro episode of What the Dice. Micro episode number 1 is going to be involving Edward Light and his tale, or what happened, after the run during the first collab. So, if you haven't listened to those first 5 episodes, head back, go listen to them. Why are you starting here? This is what would be 6 episodes in. But, as always, there is a content warning and all that. So, sit back and enjoy.
Listener discretion advised. Content warning level green. Standard Shadowrun subject matter. Foul language. Sex, violence, drugs. For all of our content warning, none of these subjects go into graphic detail, but it is involved in the story of the episode. Listener discretion advised.
Edward Light stands outside the Golden City Broadcast Company. He's looking down at his comm and he's flipping through messages after messages, seeing different things that have been coming across the news feeds, as well as keeping in touch with the fans that reached out to him on all of his social medias. His comm link gives a beep. A text message from his security agency. Seems as if someone or something has happened to his Ameristar, and that his security agency will have to replace it. It'll take a couple of months due to the custom nature of the vehicle, but they will be sending a limo to pick him up from work. Edward Light passes back and forth. Now, if that don't beat all, seems like someone's done a little damage to my vehicle. Well, I'm sure my agency's got this well in hand. No need to fret. Things happen. It's a Golden City. Everything happens for a reason. Corporations have been doing good. Golden City Guard's been doing excellent. Haven't had to use the paladins. You know, all in all, Golden City is not so bad. Could have been a worse city. Could have ended up in any of the other ones like New Wurstenberg or any of the other cities. He paces back and forth as he waits. Eventually, a long black limo pulls up. And one of his security agency's guards steps out and opens the passenger side back door for him.
My apologies, Mr. Light. It seems as if your vehicle was damaged in the parking garage. We don't know how. We just found that the front end was crumpled in. The alarm was going off and the airbags had deployed, so that it was not safe to drive. We've already reported it, and they are looking into the cameras as we speak.
Edward steps into the limo as the door shuts and closes. He gives the guard a nod. Hey, don't worry about it. Things happen, you know. No one got hurt. It's probably an accident. Someone probably backed into it. It happens. I ain't too worried. Man. Looks like Cheryl Starr's gonna have a fun day, reporting on that and a bunch of other stuff. That accident that happened the other day, Cheryl's got to report on that. Golden City Guard still don't know anything about that. Neither does Thorn. Man. Is it just me, or are there a lot of weird security problems going on? The guard slides in next to Edward and gives a shrug. As the limo pulls off into the night, we fast forward. It's a short drive, of course, it's the Golden City, but still, a short fast forward later. We find ourselves in Edward Light's apartment. We watch as Edward steps through the door, slips off his shoes, and slips on some house shoes. Taking off his overjacket, he switches to a light robe and proceeds to walk into the kitchen. Going through the kitchen, he runs his fingers across the different fruits, veggies, and other fresh meals. Doesn't seem like he is interested in anything that he's seeing, so he decides to move on to the boxed food. Running his fingers across the different cereals, his fingers come across one. It's slightly heavier than the rest. He doesn't remember ordering this particular brand. He looks over at the guard who is taking up his position at the door, and he pulls the box out and feels the weight. I don't remember cereal being this heavy. I also don't remember ordering this particular brand. I'm not a big fan of the Frosted Hard O's. Well, mistakes happen. This box feels rather heavy, though. What in the absolute? As he opens the box, expecting to see a bag of Frosted Heart O's, he sees a book. The leather is soft and worn, and the pages give off that old, musky smell that only a library could give off. His eyes trace over the intricacies of the paper. It's real paper, but softer, maybe made from vellum or some other extinct technique. The leather on this book is old and ancient, but it is still in amazing shape. There's metal and bracketing around the outside edging, keeping everything bound in tight. He reaches in and he slowly pulls out the book. Sitting down at the dining room table, he carefully opens the box up and slides the book out. Looking at it under better light, it's definitely made from leather. It's an old tome, bound by iron and leather. On the outside brandishes a rose and a scythe. He runs his fingers across the symbol and begins to look over the book. No author, no name. As he turns to look back at the cover, the rose has lightened. It's no longer this strange black rose. It's more of a gray rose. The thorns are both red and white, and the once solid black rose head, the petals had lightened just a little bit. Curiosity gets the better of him, and he begins to open the book. The book has a language he's never seen before. It's a mix of symbols and an ancient dead language by what he can tell. He is by no means a historian or a linguistist. He starts to close the book and stops. Wait. Did those words just change? The history and archives of heroes, both dead, present, and soon to be. A book of fate. Stories and tales of those who have made a change in the world, both instantaneous and long given. He runs his fingers through the page and starts to read. Words become images, and as he turns the page, more words change. Tales of long forgotten heroes. He decides he's going to flip the pages to the middle of the book, see what kind of stories happened later on. Let's see. Harlequin, Donkelzon. Wait. This is not right. This stuff is fairly recent. These are... What a runner? No. They're all made up. They're all that like... entertainment stuff. Runners ain't real. Wait. We know very little what happened before the second crash, and even less about the first crash, and even less than that. Before then, this book is telling me that there were heroes, people that fought for good, fought for wrong. It just heroes of all types. And now, I mean, yeah, we got our heroes, but he continues to read and starts to see the corruption that the corporations have, how they've overfarmed locations, how they've worked in the shadows to both better and ruin the world around them. There is a moment where Edward leans back, his mind flooded with images that he cannot get out of his head. There is a truth in this book, and there is something in this book that is driving him to seek out more of the truth. He pushes that feeling down before he heads to bed for the night. As the days turn to weeks, Edward finds himself engrossed in this book. He is able to keep up this persona of a reporter for the Golden City. But in his mind, he is starting to see small things of corruption. Small stories that come across his desk that don't make sense. Small things. People walking around that just, their eyes give them, they've seen something, and they've seen a lot of it. As the camera pulls away from Edward to see the greater span of the Golden City, we see the old man. He is standing on a rooftop looking up at the Golden City Broadcasting Tower, and at that giant golden orb at the top that acts like the studio and broadcasting equipment. He has a smile on his face as he knows the seeds of truth have been sown, and it's only a matter of time before they take root. Hey everyone, I want to thank you for listening to this. I know it was very short. It will be released and you will have the next episode right after this. But this is something we will be doing in Season 2. All these small little episodes will be added. There will be other characters, other recordings. So I'm really trying to make this show have more depth and more lore. If you want to help us grow this lore, join our Discord. The link will be in the description. And help us name characters, places, food, things like that. And if you're a Patreon, you can help us actually develop lore, like solid lore that will be put in our lore book. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for this 15 minutes before the next episode. And enjoy the season. I really hope that all my extra work is going to pay off.
Hey everyone, Nightland here, co-creator of What the Dice, and player of Sparkles for Season 2, to do some thank yous here at the end of our episode. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for listening. We would not be here today without you, and I do mean that sincerely. We never thought we would get this far, and knowing that there's someone out there, yeah, I'm talking to you, the one with the earballs listening right now. If it wasn't for you guys, and us knowing that you're actually here and enjoying what you're listening to, we wouldn't have kept going, and it genuinely fills our heart with joy, and I want to make sure that we tell you every single time at the end of these episodes. We are eternally grateful. Second, we would like to take a moment to thank all the things that we use in our day-to-day What the Dicey ways. First up, Epidemic Sound for our sound effects and music, Podbean for being our host, Foundry VTT, and Forge VTT for creating their virtual tabletop gaming applications and services, Craigbot for our recordings, Catalyst Game Labs for Shadowrun, which is the current system we are running. And with that, if you can spare a moment of effort and want to help us out, the best thing that you can do is honestly, tell a friend, share us, drop a link in a Discord somewhere that you're a part of, or take that 2-second effort of hitting a like, hitting a follow, giving us a star rating. Whatever the button is on whatever it is that you're listening to us on goes a long way in helping us fight that horrible algorithm monster. Also, the Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in the connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to What the Dice to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary material for the promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with What the Dice in any official capacity whatsoever.